Welcome back to the boardroom, board members. This is the chatty chairwoman. I really struggled on whether or not to do a video on justice for Shanquella Robinson because I wanted to make sure that anything I said was dignified, respectful, honorable to the families in her memory. And then I saw this tweet that says, okay, so this is Meg and Tori's trial getting a lot of press, but what about Shanquella Robinson? What's the update and news on that case? That tweet convicted me to do my little part because what do we know? If it's no longer on social media, it's no longer in the news, then the story just dies, right? Because what do we know? It has been 64 days since Shanquella Robinson was unalived by friends in Cabo, Mexico. It has been 35 days since Mexican officials issued a warrant for an arrest, allegedly, for Dejanay Jackson, the woman in the video harming Shanquella Robinson. And I'm using my words carefully because this is YouTube. So I believe we all have our responsibility to continue to tweet about, talk about the need and demand for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Now, earlier this week, Gerald Zuniga, who is the Mexican reporter who wrote the initial story breaking the overall details and the background and the misinformation, misrepresentation on how she lost her precious life, did a video with pictures of allegedly, of Shanquella Robinson and the medical officials in Mexico working on her. Now, he did that earlier in the week. Are they legitimate? I am not a judge. I cannot verify whether or not those photos of this person laying on the ground with the emergency personnel are legitimate. I cannot. Does it help to keep the story in the forefront? Absolutely. Does it keep the interest there? Absolutely, because we know, what is it? New information is what's going to help keep this story going. So for the parents, I know that this is a necessity that they see justice for Shanquella Robinson. So I heard that Monday is Shanquella Robinson's day. I wasn't able to verify it. I only heard it on one social media where they're encouraging everyone to email their local news station and ask them to cover the story. Just think about it. 64 days since she passed, 35 days since Mexico issued a warrant. And earlier this month, on December the 11th, her family had that rally to not only remember her, but also to keep her story in the news and in the forefront. So kudos to Black social media for really driving this story to mainstream media. But we have to make sure they don't forget that in 2023, we expect justice for Shanquella Robinson. This woman really demonstrated what we are all about, and that is what? Paving your own way. It is unfortunate and tragic and hard to fathom that 6 people that she's known, some of them I'm assuming from the pictures, since middle school and maybe even younger, some who claim to be her best friend, have basically disregarded her, the value of her precious life. So, board members, let's all do our part to keep this story alive. And then I want to pause and say kudos to law enforcement in Idaho for identifying and arresting the alleged perpetrator of the 4 college students at the University of Idaho. And like how that story stayed in social media, even though people had allegations or research that created all of these people of interest, it kept the story alive and the pressure on. And we have to continue to do that on behalf of Shanquella Robinson, because I know when you hear the interviews from the mother, sister, and the father, they are all mention how social media, Black Twitter kept this story, and YouTube kept this story alive and helped to get to where they are. So we don't know why the warrant process is taking so long. We know one thing about America: there is due process. We don't know why that's taking so long, but we are looking for justice for Shanquella. Have a great day.